It's a Hufflepuff kind of day. 2 weeks in, and I'm feeling wildly unaccomplished in this endeavor. I also think that because the progress is so slow, that the daily journal entries are getting a little redundant. So I think I'm going to pause on those or kind of intersperse them. And instead, what I'd like to do is share with you some of the blog posts and images and the things that I've created already for the project, and some more thoughts on the story itself and the books. Because this is not the beginning. Day one is not day one. Day one is a decade come December. So we're at like 9.5 years. It's wild to think about that. And I'm having a lot of doubts come up and a lot of fears around the money. And it's interesting for me to be daily vlogging, because it's letting me know that it's only taken me 2 weeks to start second guessing myself, like deeply doubting myself. So you're going to be with me on this journey of fighting myself, along with all of the other obstacles in the way of staying true to this. But I would like to make the content more engaging, and I would like to share with you some of the actual progress, because I think I need those metrics for myself. So we're going to look at some of the things that are shifting and changing with progress and things that I'm getting done, as well as interspersing that with projects that I'm working on now, as well as looking back over what I've created intermittently, sometimes with years in between them, over the last decade of life. So that's how the beginning of week 3 is starting, and the end of week 2 will devote the rest of this video to the progress that we've made so far. There is a literal and figurative journey happening parallel to each other right now with this. I'm somewhere between my roles as mother and partner and artist and creator and self. And it's requiring a lot of literal back and forth right now as we get to the end of the school year and Katie's graduation. Every time I travel, it's a 5-hour trip each way. It's a beautiful trip, but it's a long drive. But it does allow for a lot of processing time, whether I'm focusing that energy on health or story and plot lines, or figuring out where I'm having roadblocks with creative projects. So it can get exhausting, and it feels sometimes like a waste of time, but it's also really helpful in other ways, and I try to stay towards that mindset. Paralleling that is the journey between the life that I have been in, that has been centered around other people and serving them, and also a coming home to myself. And it's interesting to see all the things coming to life that I wrote about years ago, like the house and the pathways of flowers that exist here that I walk barefoot through, just like the characters. This is literally my imagination come to life, and it seems like the right place to be to create this. And I'm having to look at the literal metrics of, is it becoming sustainable? And it feels so slow and it feels so monumental. But when I actually am looking at the data now, in the last 2 weeks of focusing, there are little victories. There are new signups on Patreon of people supporting. There are increases in the watch hours. I'm just about almost halfway to monetization of the channel, which will help enormously. And looking at the metrics of the views and things, that will help with being able to continue doing this. And so I do believe that it is a compound interest. Everything is moving up, and I think the more that I stay focused to it, the more that it will start to avalanche, which is really what we need. So thank you to everyone that's supporting this through Patreon, through your messages. And I love you all so much for being with me on this journey over the last decade, and for your renewed support and enthusiasm as we move forward. This isn't possible without you.